Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Oh, this is interesting. I changed the topic to chat safety because we had Ted Terabon ask a question through email, and before I had a chance to really go into what the question was, some people in the chat room right now were speculating as to why I set the topic to chat safety. So Ted's question was quite simple. How safe is the chat room? I mean, can anyone else in the chat room somehow access someone else's computer, especially if you leave yourself logged into the chat room and leave your computer unattended for a while? And as I'm sure you see, I'm new to chatting and I've got a lot to learn. Is there a website or book that explains chat rooms like yours and has all the commands listed to do the various lines of type I've seen? So this is I guess a simple question, but a bit complex, but the answer itself is simple. In terms of the safety of the chat room, anytime you connect to well, an online service, and even if you connect to a website, you're sharing information about your machine, and the same could kind of be held true for connecting to an IRC server or room of sorts. I mean, we can obviously discover your IP address. Someone could discover your IP address that way. Now you could use an anonymous proxy, but we block anonymous proxies because that's kind of what people who intend to do harm use or tend to use to come into chat rooms in a completely anonymous fashion. So Divine just gave out a phone number. So yeah, you are exposing yourself in that sense, but by and large, that's not really going to be used to harm you in any way. I mean, when you connect to anything, you're exposing information about yourself, but you're only exposing as much information as you allow yourself to be exposing. That is to say, if you paste in your phone number, well, yeah, then you're sharing your information. When you're connected to the server, yes, someone can do a whois and discover where you're coming in from, and possibly even the client or the chat program that you happen to be using. Now, in terms of when you leave yourself logged into the chat room, you know, that's not going to leave you open to any more harm than by coming in there in the first place. For the most part, I've been doing IRC for years, as have a lot of these people, and really haven't run into any major issues in that capacity. Of course, if you're talking about chat safety when you're at home and you're talking about something, you don't want anybody to see what you're doing. If you, let's say, you get up and walk away for the night, or just say to go get a glass of water, my suggestion, at least in Windows, is holding on to Windows and then hitting L. The Windows key L will essentially log you out of your Windows session, and in order to get back in, you have to type in your password. So only you, assumingly, have your password for your particular Windows install. But that's kind of a nice way of locking your workstation when you get up to go. That's a different level of safety, I realize, of what you're talking about. But I would say, for the most part, at least the people that are here on Wild Ride, and even the people, for the most part, like I said, I got to be careful. Can't say everybody, but I don't think anybody here means anybody any harm. That's for sure. Now, as far as a website or a book that explains chat rooms like ours, well, our chat room's kind of different. We've certainly used a similar type of chat speak, LOL, laugh out loud, you know, ROT, FLMAO, rolling on the floor, laughing my off, and you pick these things up as you go along, honestly. I mean, yeah, there are websites, there are books available, facts or frequently asked questions, but, you know, more than anything, I think just getting in the flow, not just asking questions, but just kind of sensing what's going on. Each chat room has got its own flavor. Ours tends to be a little fun-loving. We obviously skew tech, don't really care for mean people. We believe they suck. The general demeanor is, you know, open. We use certain commands that we've developed for our own needs. For instance, if you do bang or exclamation mark GoDaddy and then type in a domain, you can generate a link to register the domain. That's something that SC Thor has created. Then we've also got the Wicket Bot. That helps with some chat room administrivia, and that was largely developed by Bear. And so, each chat room has got these different bots available, and I don't know if Anna has been active. I think she got booted. It was a trivia bot, and she had other commands as well. It was kind of fun for a little while, but then it kind of got annoying when we were trying to do other things, and it just flooded the channel with people who really weren't adding any value to general discourse or conversation. So, you can read websites. We'll throw up some links for you with some acronym debunking and acronym explaining, demystifying, I guess. There's so much, because even some common acronyms are debated on what LOL means. I've heard a few of them. In fact, my dad came up with an alternative meaning for LOL, and I can't remember what it was now. I'd never heard of it before, but he thought it sounded logical to him. Lots of love. That's what it was. LOL. Lots of love. And it's like, well, okay, I guess you could use that. It's actually laugh out loud, as most people use it. Anyway, whatever. I say your best bet is just to throw yourself into the culture of a chat room, any chat room, whether it's ours or anybody else's, and you'll pick up things. You can ask questions like, what are those strange lights above your desk? Chris, what kind of keyboard do you have? What kind of camera do you use? What kind of microphone do you have? And what kind of Macs do you have? If you ask these questions, the bots will respond with the answers to those questions, because they're frequently asked questions, FAQs. Anyway, if anybody else has any suggestions for chat room safety or IRC safety or general protocol, by all means, suggest away. We'll take anything you got. And, you're welcome to come by the chat room as well. Don't pretend you know everything. We've got plenty of ops that are around helping people, and plenty of regular people with voice or without voice, and half ops. And see, I know that sounds jargonistic, which it is, but the op controls the chat room. A half op has half the op's power, and someone who's got voice has the ability to speak in the chat room when we turn on the moderated bit, which we do when we record videos, so that people who just swing in just to be jerks can't get fed into the live video. So anyway, you'll pick these things up as it goes along. And like I said, you're free to stop by the chat room anytime. And you hang out enough, and like Divine, you too will get voice. And like Mirage, post phone numbers. Yeah. Anyway, we're available 24 hours a day at live.pirillo.com. Or if you want to use your IRC program, any IRC program, we're at irc.wildride.org in channel Chris. That's pound Chris, CHRIS. See you later.